Hey y'all, so I know a lot of y'all are wondering why my face looks like that. Well, if you're wondering why my face looks like this, make sure that y'all watch this video right here. But first, you know what's really sad, y'all? Only about 25% of my viewers subscribe, so also, please click that subscribe button down below so y'all can get more updates on what's going on in the world of skincare and psychology and hair care, aka Psy-cosmetology. So, I did something really interesting with my hair. Now, not a lot of y'all know this, but there is a group of hair colors called the high lift reds. What that is it's just high lift hair color, but it has red pigment in it. Where high lift blondes are blonde colors that lift a little bit more, there's more ammonia, there's a strong undertone. High lift reds are the same exact thing. There's more ammonia, but there's a strong red pigment. And the purpose of high lift reds is to make darker hair turn red. A little disclaimer here, I am a professional, a licensed professional, so again, if at any point y'all don't feel like you're confident in doing your own hair, then please don't do it because it's going to be an expensive salon bill. So one of the things about high lift reds is that high lift reds, they contain more ammonia, so if you, are looking for a product, avoid one that is ammonia free, and there's various reasons about that. The second thing is it will tingle a little bit more than regular hair color because of the stronger percentage of ammonia. Also, depending on the brand, you might have to double the developer. The brand of color I used was Redken's RV High Lift, the double fashion tones. Now, Redken's High Lift Reds, Browns, and Blondes have not been around for a while. They've since revamped it, and they made Blonde Idol, which is the blonde line. However, the Reds have been dropped completely from Redken. I think they came back with one brand or something that was made on use on dark hair only, which is similar, but it's not nearly as good. So what I did is I usually do my regrowth every 2 to 3 months, usually closer to the 3-month mark. Now, I'm gonna go get the ring light so it's easier to see. This should shed some light on the situation, literally. All right, so take a look at this, y'all. Up top at the regrowth, it has a lot of dimension. I did big foils, big slices in the front, and then I did diagonal slices on the sides. So this right here, if you can see, is actually a purpley, violety red, and it's pretty vibrant, but you still see my natural color that's in there. So I went in, and I did big slices all throughout the front. Now I want to tell you all how I did this first of all. I took a mohawk section, so I did the top like I was doing a foil on top. And then in the back, what I did was I did diagonal slices, so I just sectioned off this quadrant and this quadrant, and I left the back of my hair alone. I didn't put any foils in the back. And then what I did was I went in and I put foils of the High Lift Red, which processes for 45 minutes. And while that was processing, I took, which it was with 30 developer. My natural level of hair is about a level 4, but I do have a lot of gray, so it's getting lighter. And another thing that I want to give y'all, like a disclaimer here, is if you have a lot of gray hair, if you have, blonde hair, do not use a High Lift Red. And I know a lot of y'all are going to go, why not? High Lift Red is pure red pigment. If you have white or, blonde hair, what's gonna happen is your hair is not gonna turn a really nice rich red. It's gonna turn a very scary, translucent-y, reddy pink, and it won't look good. And the reason behind that is because on dark hair like mine, when you lift it, you're gonna expose and you're gonna pull a lot of red undertone. When you're going red, you do not want to counteract the red undertones because you're enhancing. So if that makes sense, I'm lifting the hair, I'm going to expose true red or an orange. I'm going to put red on top of that, which is going to make it an even more intense red. So that is the purpose of a high lift red. Same thing with the high lift brown and blonde hair. Don't do it because your hair will turn a blue color and not a cool blue or green color. It'll be a yucky color. Likewise, if you have dark hair and you use a high lift blonde, it might not lift enough and there won't be enough pigment, so your hair is going to be what we call orange. So the thing with high lift hair colors to keep in mind, know that with high lift, it's gonna smell a lot worse. So if you're already odor sensitive, it's gonna be bad, but it's not damaging to the hair. It is actually better to use a high lift red on dark hair instead of bleach and tone. Because if you're bleaching and toning the hair red, it's gonna fade that fast. Way back when the dinosaurs were around, before I knew any better, I'd go to Sally Beauty Supply and I would get bleach. And I ended up taking the bleach, I bleached my whole head out, and then I ended up using a really, really bad color. Pause this video, take a guess, and comment down below what brand of color you thought I used. Hint, hint, I got it at Rite Aid. The brand of hair color that I used over the blonde was Splat. Splat hair color is by far a hair colorist's worst nightmare. The only thing that Splat is good for is if you're using it on regular virgin hair and you want like a little bit of a fun tone, because some of their colors you can even see on dark hair. Splat hair color stains every single surface it comes in contact with, and it does not come out for anything. It pretty much dyes everything but your own hair. So what happened with the Splat is it turned a horrible reddish orange pink, and it was really gross. So Splat was a no-go. My hair was fried, my curls were ruined, and I was like, huh, this is odd. There's gotta be something out there. Little did I know, L'Oreal High Color Highlights, which I don't think they make anymore, had some really good colors. Redken had their own version. So the High Color Highlights is just a knockoff of Redken, just so that you all know that. Same thing with the High Lift Blondes that are available at Sally. It's the same exact product as Blonde Idol from Redken, just with a different label. A lot of these products, they are made in the same lab, the same chemical plant, whatever you call it. They're the same. Not many people know that. So with this, another disclaimer here is you gotta remember some of my hair is also colored. I have found that especially on faded red hair, the high lifts work just fine. If you're really that worried or you do a strand test, it doesn't come out that well, with 30 volume, try 40 volume. Another little tip is strand test it 1-to-1 ratio, because you still get a higher percentage of ammonia that way. When you do that, you might actually lift through it. Now, hair color does not lift hair color. Remember that, but when you're learning high lifts, it does. I know a lot of y'all are gonna go, huh? Hair color does lift hair color, but is unpredictable, and you are also using more ammonia and a higher developer, so there is a lifting potential there. Now, will it be like, oh my gosh, it's completely lifted? It depends. It depends how many times you've, colored your hair and overlapped. So if you've been overlapping, less so. So that is something to be mindful of. The other important thing is if you have demi-permanent color. Demi-permanent color might lift on your hair, it might not. That's why I don't like demi. It really depends on the person's hair and how porous it is and all that stuff. Also know that in general, red hair colors tend to be a little bit more alkaline because of the nature of the dye, as well as gold tones, by the way. So there's always that factors into it. And know that red hair color is made to fade. So when it fades, you can color again easily. So red hair really is a journey, and that's why some days red might look nice, and then the other days it might look a little too, reddish. In that case, give it a few shampoos and it evens out. But I have found that their red violets actually come out more on the violet side. And I'm just gonna give you all a quick view underneath of what it looks like. Take a look at that. See how it has like a nice purple tone to it? That is exactly what to expect from this color. And after I did the foils up top, what I did, and here's this side, what I did is when the foils were processing, I mixed up a demi-permanent color from Wella. Now I'm gonna go get the swatch book and I'll be right back. Alright, so here's the swatch book for Wella Color Charm, and at some point I'll do a video review on this so y'all can see the tones to pick from if any of y'all want to color your hair with this. So Wella has a lot of different colors. They have a Color Charm, a permanent liquid hair color, and then they have a gel hair color. My own personal opinion on Wella, mix both of them in a bottle, and the demi-permanent, especially mix it in a bottle. I tried applying it with a bowl and brush, and oh man, was it a challenge and a chore. I actually very carefully poured the bowl into a color bottle and just squirted it. Now, the cool thing with the Wella, and I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, their demi-permanent color, the developer smells amazing. It's like a scented developer. Now, if you're sensitive, that might be a problem. The other interesting thing is I looked on their ingredients, it contains salicylic acid, so your hair actually feels really nice after it because it kind of restores the pH to the hair. It's not like other demi-permanents that I've used where your hair feels like straw. So it is an interesting formulation right there. So in their swatch book right here, here are the tones by Wella, the reds. Take a look at this right here, the red violet. That's a really nice tone. I've also found that Wella's tones aren't exactly all that, you know, honest. This is the cyclamen color, they call it. Their demi-permanent color, if you look at it, kind of looks like it's this really scary bright red and bright orange, and it's like, oh man, that's terrifying. I have not found their color to actually be like that at all. Let me see if this helps. Their color is not like that at all. It's actually a lot nicer. It's a lot nicer than what they show you on here. So with that being said, I actually really like their color. Their demi-permanent color, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you mix 2 parts of developer to 1 part of the permanent hair color. Total 1 tube will get you 6 ounces, so that's the nice thing. And it only processes for 20 minutes without heat, which is exactly what I did. And you can process it with heat if you have a color steamer or something else. So this is the final result, and I like it a lot. It looks like a nice, really cool red look. It is deep enough. It's not like, oh my gosh, in your face red. It's, unless you go out in the sunlight, and you get a little nice purpley reddish tinge, and it's really cool in different lightings. And that's just all hair colors, but especially reds. This is definitely a very wearable look, and I'm gonna show y'all in a separate video how to do this foiling technique I did using a high lift hair color on dark hair. It's something you can have fun with, and again, really pick what your hair is like. So if you are sticking with the reds, do a high lift red. If you're brown, you can even mix it up and do like a brown base and do a few high lift red strands in there from red highlights. It can be as creative as you want. So that's what I really like about this technique and this method. Now, if you have existing colored hair, in order to keep everything consistent, color your roots first with your shade of hair color and then go and foil over it. That way you don't want your natural hair color to lift too much and then you have to, you know, reformulate or do a color correction. If your hair does have a lot of buildup, because every time you use permanent hair color, you're not supposed to overlap, what I recommend then is doing a hair color remover to shrink and take out some of those color molecules, wait about a day or 2, and color. You might have to do it two times, but I have used high lift red hair color on people that have done box black hair dye after doing a color remover, and it came out just fine. So please comment down below what y'all think of this video. And again, if you want to know why my face looks like this, please click on this link right over here and learn about what happened. Please like, comment, and hit that subscribe button down below. And I will see y'all soon for more amazing Psy cosmetology videos.